We will go on the record in the matter 21 CV 129 Taylor Excavating LLC versus Tony DiNardo et al. Appearances are we have Mr. Joel Porter, who represents Taylor Excavating et al. And Michael Taylor.
That's correct.
Who is the owner and the individual who I think it's a sole proprietorship LLC, correct?
Correct.
That's his business. He is here representing the business as himself. We do not have defendants Tony DiNardo or Scott Vogel making any appearance.
This case starts off tense and honestly, not in a good way for the defendants. Imagine walking into court already 17 minutes late, while the judge is clearly someone who values precision and discipline. That's not just bad timing. That's risking your entire case before it even begins. Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about being late. This is about a $30,000 plus dispute, a construction project gone wrong, and what could potentially become a default judgment right out of the gate. But here's the real question for you watching on the channel: should life emergencies excuse courtroom delays? Or is the judge right to enforce strict rules no matter what? And stick with this one, because what unfolds next, medical emergencies, missing defendants, and a judge who almost shuts the whole case down, is just the beginning. If you're into real courtroom drama like this, make sure you hit subscribe early.
Here today at this time, Ms. DiNardo, who is married, or it was Ms. DiNardo called, and she's married to Mr. Vogel. This involves their property, their home. She called at 9 o'clock and said she is 10 minutes away from the court. This matter started at 9 o'clock a.m. sharp. This court runs at on time as the court is calendared, unless we get pushed back a little, and then we get right back on schedule and in time. She is not making any appearance here today. She is 16 minutes late. She said she would be 10 minutes late at 9:10. The court is reviewing the video. I do not see anybody in the any of the cameras. I did see two people now walk towards the stairwell, but as of this time, I don't see them coming this way. Somebody is now in the elevator, but that is a sheriff's employee. I do not have any appearance by the defendants at this time. Mr. Porter.
How would you like me to put on evidence, Your Honor?
You can ask if is there any motion you would like to make at this time?
I would move for a default judgment against the defendants and dismissal of their counterclaim.
They are not here. They are late. It is 9:17. I see two people now walking in, and they can explain to the court why they are so late and why the court should not dismiss the matter, because I am dismissing the matter right now because you are 17 minutes late. I do not run late. I start at 9 a.m. sharp.
I apologize, Your Honor. It was unforeseen. It wasn't something that was planned.
Then what happened?
Just trying to get to everything.
Come have a seat. That should have been organized and ready to go last night, not this morning. It is now 9:18, 18 minutes after my starting time. Push down and over.
His son, we've been at Children's Hospital. His son's wife has been dealing with losing the baby. So we've been.
No excuse.
That's why we ended up with last minute stuff.
Mr. Vogel, your son's wife is in the hospital?
Well, she's doctoring with their young one, with her baby. It's a kidney shut down on him. So
she's 28 weeks pregnant, and we've been at Children's and just working with the family, meeting with the doctors.
And that has been happening this past week?
Yes, Your Honor.
He hasn't been to work since last week.
But why were you late this morning?
So we were trying to
finishing everything last night. My computer crashed as we were printing everything off, and just
trying to get everything put together.
I don't think I've been to sleep yet. No.
Well, I would like to have proof that he is in the hospital or she is in the hospital and that is your son. Anything that you provide me will be sealed and confidential. No one else will get to see it, but I need proof that there is some legitimate medical reason, even if it is not causing you to be delayed.
All right, this is a critical moment. The judge could have easily granted a default judgment right there. That would mean the defendants lose automatically, no argument, no defense, game over. But instead, the judge does something important. She balances skepticism with fairness. She acknowledges she's been lied to before but still gives them a chance. Conditionally, this is actually a great example of how courts operate in real life. Judges don't just follow rules blindly, they weigh credibility, evidence, and human circumstances. But notice the warning: if that medical excuse isn't backed up with proof, the entire case could collapse instantly, so now the stakes are even higher. Not only do the defendants have to defend themselves, they have to prove they were even justified in showing up late. What do you think? Did the judge make the right call giving them a chance, or should she have shut it down right there?
Today, I can see how it could delay you in the fact that you have been overwhelmed with that and then needing to get ready for today. So I can be lenient if I am provided that documentation.
Absolutely.
So at this time, I am not going to default them for their failure to appear. I am going to just stay on that because, not that I don't believe you, but I've been lied to many times. That if it's not if it's not true or not accurate, then I am going to, you would be in default and it would be dismissed. But today we will move forward and I will hear what the parties have for me. This is Taylor Excavating LLC. How many witnesses do we have? All the parties?
I intend to call Mr. Taylor and cross-examine the defendants if necessary.
All right, I'm gonna have the defendants and the plaintiff please stand up, raise your right hand to be sworn in.
You affirm that the testimony you're about to provide in this matter should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, you may be seated. And for the record, I did receive some filing from the DiNardos. I was out all last week. I was out for 10 days, well, 5 days of work. So I did not receive anything until yesterday. So I finally reviewed it yesterday. I had no time to, there's no time to do anything with regards to those motions, but I will hear what everybody has here today. Some of the things I will let you know that they're not hearsay, or some of the things were hearsay that you were requesting anyway. Some things are not hearsay, and they are things that if they involve you and Mr. Taylor, those are things that can come in. And I'm just going to ask you, and I'm just going to say, I saw you do something with your phone. Are you recording this?
No, I turned it off. I just heard my phone buzz, so.
Okay. Buzzing is fine. I'm fine with buzzing because there are, especially knowing the medical situation, that's fine. I'm not fine with the ding, ding, dings. So if you need it to buzz, buzzing is fine. All right, so we're going to start with Mr. Porter and Mr. Taylor. You may begin. Are you going to call Mr. Taylor as a witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor, you've been sworn in. Please come forward and be in the witness chair.
What is your name?
Michael Taylor,
What is your address?
5926 State Road 70, Webster, Wisconsin.
What is your occupation?
I'm a small business owner.
What type of business?
We're into excavation and grading, some mining, and also some sewer installation, water line installation, and also sewer system maintenance.
Does that involve heavy equipment?
Yes,
Did you have any schooling for heavy equipment operation?
yes.
When and where was that?
That was in Staples, Minnesota, between the years of 1991 and 1993.
At what institution or school?
Staples Tech. It's now called Central Lakes College, I believe.
And did you graduate?
Yes,
And when you graduated, did you receive a diploma or certificate?
yes.
following your graduation from Staples Tech, did you work as an excavator?
Yes.
Please outline for the court your work as an excavator from the time you graduated from tech school to now.
Okay. Well, it goes back a little bit before that because during my teenage years as a young man, I labored installing sewer systems and worked construction. So I got done at Staples 2 weeks early, and I already had job placement in Minneapolis. And so I was able to actually leave school 2 weeks early. I went to work for Turner Excavating out of Savage, Minnesota. I was employed there for a year. And then from there, I went to Carl Bolander and Sons out of St. Paul. And then from there, I went to Abramson Construction out of Orr, Minnesota. Before coming back home, I'd moved back home because my father became ill and I needed to take care of things around home. And so I moved home and worked locally during 1996. And then it just wasn't meeting the goals for me as far as what I wanted to provide for my family. So I started this business in 1997 officially.
And you've continued in Taylor Excavating since then?
Yes.
Before you went to Staples Tech, who was the person or company that you were laying sewer for or septic for?
Before Staples Tech,
Yes.
that would have been the St. Croix tribe.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that brings us up to your business. Did you do work for Tony DiNardo and Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
And what work did you do for them?
Well, we started out there with the site clearing. As far as once we got it to their lot, because there was a big obstacle moving it back into there. The developer was still working on the driveway, getting it to the point of transition where it would turn into an easement or I guess a shared driveway with your neighbors. So anyhow, it wasn't going well for the developer. And there was a really wet fall. And the only way to actually get product in there to build the road in so we could actually work on their lot, we ended up we'd work in the mornings, or if it got cold overnight, we would try to in a nutshell, the driveway was constructed in the wintertime. And what we had done is we had cleared the trees off to the sides, and it was nothing really fancy at all. It was just they were, that Tom, I guess it was the developer, said that he just wanted them laid down there along the edges and they were going to clean them up or whatever. And then I think down the road that ended up getting switched up too. But anyhow, so we went in there, took the trees out, took the organic matter off, and laid fabric. And then it varied because the rock was 1.5 inch rock that we hauled in there. But we put roughly between, I'd say a good average is probably on the average 6 inches of rock, clear rock, on top of fabric. And then we put, in some places, I know in that driveway, there's got to be at least about 2 feet of gravel, because what ended up taking place was they have access off of the state highway. So they were able to access their property early, and they were really pushing to get their building done, right? Because they were trying to move in there. And they ran on that road. And, so when the frost come out of that road, it just turned to hell because it hadn't had a chance to actually heal up yet, because the only way we could get back in there with the rock and the sand fill for the pad was to build that frozen and then leave it alone. And it wasn't left alone. It got really screwed up.
Okay, so that's the driveway.
Yeah,
And the portion that you did was a shared driveway between them and their neighbors?
that's one, that's a small portion. I kind of highlighted it on that little map right there.
Okay,
Yeah,
and we're not gonna put the map into evidence unless
Okay.
Ron asks for it. But basically, so you constructed a driveway by clearing trees. This was a wooded lot, I take it,
yes,
and there were wetlands?
yes,
Okay, so you took down the trees that were in the way of the driveway and you put down fabric. What's the purpose of the fabric?
so you created some separation between the heavy clay soils that are in Trade Lake Township and your buffer up above.
Okay, and on top of that, then you put clear rock. What's clear rock?
Well, clear rock just basically helps it acts just the same as ballast to help kind of transfer the weight of whatever is going in and out of traveling across the driveway. If it had no rock under it at all, it really would have turned into a huge mess. You know, we did a road across the lake from their place about 10 or 15 years ago, and that builder wanted 2 feet of sand on the whole thing. Well, you're gonna import sand, you're gonna import all that much more material, the price goes up. So it kind of, you know, it also depends on what people want as far as, you know, what they want to spend as well, as far as, you know, how elaborate you want your construction to be on your driveway.
Okay.
Yeah,
And on top of the clear rock, you put gravel.
correct.
And the depth of gravel varied according to the terrain?
Well, it varied after, the reason it started to vary is because they ignored my warning to wait and don't travel on that driveway until the frost is all out. And they didn't, and they pushed it and it really got blown up. So there's some areas out there where there's 2 feet of gravel because, you know, they're basically driving, an 80,000 pound ready mix truck down a private driveway that hadn't had a chance to actually dry out yet.
The finished driveway was a gravel driveway,
Yes,
not asphalt,
no,
not concrete,
no,
not cobblestones?
no.
Okay. Over the years, about how many gravel driveways have you built?
I don't know.
More than 100?
Yes,
More than 1,000?
yes. I would say, I mean, if I had to really think about it and look it up, I would say we probably installed over half a million driveways in this county.
Okay. Be fair to say you're experienced in installing driveways?
Yes,
Did you clear their lot site for their building?
yes,
And did you install a septic system for them?
yes.
Go over the procedures to install the septic system, please.
Well, first you need to get a certified soil tester out there to survey the land and determine whether or not what's going to work best for that lot and for that system sizing as far as number of bedrooms goes. Once that is done, that paperwork gets filed with Burnett County. That soil report gets done there. Then the system design is done. And I think on this particular site, we ended up having Keith Stoner. We had Keith Stoner do the testing and design. There was a previous design put together from Ken Strabel. And I believe that Burnett County wanted an interpretation on the soil. They wanted something a little bit more because the soils are so heavy there that you couldn't even hardly count the topsoil. It's real heavy anyhow. So once you get through that testing and the plan design, then that gets submitted to Madison for a state plan review because it's a mountain system, it's pressurized. Then, once that comes back to us, then that gets submitted to Burnett County for the state sanitary permit. All of those costs I have paid for.
Okay, so let's back up. So there was a soil test
Correct.
and then later the mounds, well, first of all, are there ordinances and laws and rules and regulations that restrict where a septic system can be?
Absolutely.
Certain distances away from roadways, from houses, so on and so forth?
Yes.
Okay. And the mound septic system that was designed by Mr. Stable, did that comply with those restrictions?
Yes.
And were the proper permits obtained from Burnett County and Madison?
Yes.
Okay. After getting those, after that design and getting the necessary permits, then what was done?
Well, like I said, they were in a big push and they wanted to get in there. So what we ended up doing was we had set the septic tank at least 2 months prior to the mound system, right? It was something like that. It was a couple months before anyhow, just so they could have something in case they wanted to use their bathroom. And the roadway, the driveway wasn't in any shape in order for us to be able to truck all the mound sand in to build the mound. It was still too wet. So we picked a cold morning, set the tank in there, and then did the mound system, I want to say about 2 months later. Yeah.
And was there an inspection of the tank or the mound system?
Yes.
And who does those inspections?
Burnett County zoning did this inspection. Now it's the Land Services Department.
It's my understanding that a licensed plumber has to be involved in some aspect of installing this system. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And did you have a licensed plumber involved in this system?
Yes.
Who was that?
Pat Kissick.
Okay.
That's Kissack.
Correct.
And was the mound system inspected?
Yes.
Did it pass all inspections?
Yes. According to the inspection report I have right there.
Is there anything about the septic system installation, permits and inspections that I haven't covered?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So you put in a shared driveway, and I assume that you billed Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel for half of that?
Correct.
And their neighbors, the Myrons, for half of it?
Mhm.
That's
Is that a
yes.
yes?
You can't
Yes.
nod. You can't nod or
Yes.
say. Okay. Okay, so that covers the driveway. Now the septic, that was just for Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel?
Correct.
Okay. And did you bill them for all the work you did?
Yes.
Did you bill them for anything you did not do?
No.
Oh. Was there a written contract between you and Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel?
No.
Okay. It was a handshake deal?
Yes.
Okay. And was it time and materials or a fixed price?
It was time and materials. The only fixed price that was on that project was the sewer system, and I believe the shared portion of their driveway construction. That was all agreed upon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I have a copy of Taylor Excavating LLC's most recent bill. May I approach the clerk and get that marked?
You may make sure that the dependents have a copy as well.
Thank you.
No,
Lost your glasses.
I guess. Oh, here they are. I found
All right, there's exhibit 1.
And Mr. Porter, I'm going to guess that this is very similar to the bill that was attached to his complaint, except with the interest.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Taylor, I have handed you a copy of Exhibit 1. Do you recognize that document?
Yes,
What is it?
the statement.
Is that current?
It is.
And does that list all of the work that you performed for Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel?
No.
Okay, what's it missing?
We performed some excavation around the building after it was erected for insulating. And we never charged them for that.
Okay,
And we also did about 6 hours with an excavator and a dozer the last day we were there. Did a little more clearing for them down by the lake that they wanted done. And we never billed them for that either.
okay. So Exhibit 1 includes everything you did for Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel, other than what you just testified to.
Correct.
Did they pay you for the shared driveway, their portion of the shared driveway?
Yes.
Did they pay you for the septic?
No.
Did they pay you for the site preparation?
Portional.
Okay. Does the outstanding amount that you're seeking in this lawsuit contained in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And for the record, what is that amount?
$30,778.
I'm confused because that is not the invoice that is on the summons and complaint in any way. I thought it would be that with additional interest. And he alleged in his complaint that he was only seeking $16,456.80. So I'm confused.
Now this is where things start to get complicated and, honestly, a bit messy. We've gone from a claim of about $16,000 to over $30,000, and the big question becomes, where did all that extra money come from? The answer: interest charges. But here's the issue. The defendants are challenging whether those interest charges were ever clearly agreed upon, and legally, that matters a lot. If there's no written contract and no clear agreement about interest terms, collecting those extra fees can become very difficult. This is why documentation is everything in construction disputes. A handshake deal might work when things go smoothly, but when money is on the line, it can turn into a legal nightmare like this. So now the case isn't just about whether work was done, it's about billing transparency agreements, and whether the charges are even enforceable. Let me ask you, if you were in this situation, would you pay that full amount, or fight it like they are?
Well, this is the current amount owed, Your Honor. You know, that's what was owed 5 years ago, the amount in the complaint.
And I'm asking, and because I'm trying to make out and understand this invoice, and I need to understand if this invoice is one that I have allowed to come in or not come in due to the restrictions and the orders of this case previously relating to the discovery. So what am I hearing? And I just need to hear that the $16,456.80, what's on top of that is all interest?
That's correct.
Because when I'm looking at the invoice, I'm just seeing interest of $332.75, $641.14, I guess, and then an interest of 3,800. I guess, explain this invoice to me. I don't understand it. Because I don't understand on May 19th, 2025, how an interest charge could be $3,887.41 when when the other ones are like $500, $300. How do you arrive at the interest?
So if you look at the months in between on the dates, so that 5/19/2025 of 3,887.41, and if you look back to January 26, 2024, and you got 641, and then just a few months earlier than that, in November 8th of 2023, you got 332. So that's how come that amount is that interest charge is so all over the place, because we didn't do them every month.
Okay, all right, so
Yeah.
that's making sense. What rate of interest did you say you charge?
I believe it is 1.5%.
1.5%. Okay, thank you. I just needed to understand that, Mr. Porter, and now it's the next one.
That's all the questions I have of Mr. Taylor at this time, Your Honor. I may recall him after Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel have a chance to ask him questions.
All right, all right, sounds good. Who is taking lead? Ms. DiNardo?
Yes, but if there's certain things that he can
Get an
jump in.
opportunity to ask questions too. I just want one person at one time, okay? And you can write things back and forth to each other, and you can whisper and talk too, but just try not to. I have very good hearing,
Okay,
okay?
okay. I was just going to give both of you a folder, but now I'm thinking that this is just going to be the better way of doing it.
And you can take your time and you can do it exhibit by exhibit, but if you know of a lot of documents that you are going to have as an exhibit, it is easier for the clerk to be able to stamp them all at the same time and handle them that way.
Okay. There. So,
First, you have to go to the clerk.
thank you.
Yep, and she has to stamp it as an exhibit.
Okay.
And then you give me that original.
Okay.
And then you give a copy to Mr. Porter. And then, well, Mr. Taylor's gonna need to have a copy if you're gonna question him on it.
Yep, I do have both.
Okay, is this one exhibit altogether?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
one for each. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, does it need, can it be marked as a whole packet? Is what
Well,
she's asking? Or-
it's one document, isn't it? Just
It's
four
all the same
copies?
document,
Okay,
one
so,
for each.
Okay,
all
all
right.
right. So one packet exhibit.
All right, I'm just gonna mark the top copy. That's the one that the court gets. And that's the one that stays. Yep. I marked that
Thank
1
you.
or 100, because I meant to mark it 100.
100.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Taylor, this is one of the invoices that you've given us previously. And where I'm actually going with this is you've got a substantial amount that you added to the invoice.
And I'm just gonna say, I'm perfectly fine if you are standing there to ask your questions. Especially, I don't think you will need to go to the witness to point things out, but maybe that's why you were there. I'm totally fine with that. If you wish to stand up there, if that makes you more comfortable, or you can go back to the desk.
Thank you.
Whatever makes you more comfortable, I'm fine with.
Well, because we're going to reference also the invoice that that they provided us with. On this invoice, every time that you would give us an invoice, we would actually pay you in full at the time of service.
Is that correct?
Is
You
that-
have to ask him questions.
Is that correct?
No,
So we paid you approximately 32,000 by February of 2021. Is that correct?
yes. You paid $9,262.60 on January 28th, 2021. You paid $18,115 on February 18th, 2021. And that's what we've seen so far.
And can you tell us, were you completed with any and all of the work that we paid you for?
What's that?
At the time that we paid that dollar amount, were you completed with the work that we had paid you for?
I don't know.
Were you still working on our property after that second payment?
Yes. I was still working on your property. I was working on your sewer. Still had your sewer left to do, and I believe there was still like the parking area in front of the garage left to do at that time, something like that.
And do you recall in March, it was about March 17th to March 21st?
Can you make sure you have a year?
Oh, thank you. Yes. March 17th to the 25th, 2021. We called you because our contractors couldn't get down to the property because you hadn't laid any fabric down on from Miron's, from the corner, before Miron's, where their driveway entrance is, all the way down to our property, and it was a clay pit. Oh, sorry.
Okay. You're asking, when you ask questions, they have to be short and complete. It's sounding like
okay.
you're giving me testimony,
Yes, okay.
and Mr. Porter should be objecting or saying something, but it's very hard for me to even understand, okay? So
I'm
if it's hard
following
for-
you now, though.
It's hard for me to, if it's hard for me to understand, it's gonna be hard for Mr. Taylor to understand and everybody to follow. And the most important thing here is for you to ask questions to him that I will understand,
Okay,
okay?
okay. So do you recall on March 17th to the 25th, 2021, the reason that you had to put large rock down on the driveway so that we could have contractors come?
I remember that you guys didn't listen to me when I suggested staying off the driveway, because we built it in the wintertime. I had advised you to stay off of the driveway until the frost came out of the ground, because it was going to blow up, and it
Okay,
did blow
so
up.
I apologize, but so just question, on March 21st, do you recall having to go to the property to add rock because the driveway needed rock because you didn't have fabric down?
I mean, I have photos. There's fabric on the whole driveway. I could show you the images and the rock.
But my point is we're looking at the billing statement,
Okay.
okay? So were you or were you not completed with the swale of our property, the driveway, the apron of the driveway? Were you still working on the driveway?
Well, and this is in March, you say?
Correct.
Yeah, we were not done in March. We were not done in March, the year that you're talking about when you were building, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Correct.
Okay, so given that time frame right there, I can line it down. So I can recall, and I'm not certain that we ever billed for it, but I can recall going out there and applying rock to the driveway after we were done to try to make things better, because I wanted you guys to be happy and you were not happy. And what's really kind of kind of a little bit of a mind fog for me is that when my crew left the last day there and walked the site with you, you had cleared all the work with Chad and Tom.
I
And
don't recall that.
Yeah,
That's,
here, yep.
can I just
You can,
object to that?
if you're going to ask him a question based upon that, you can. If you make a statement like, I don't recall that, that's your testimony, and you can provide me all of your testimony when it's your opportunity, okay?
Okay.
So you can ask him those questions, but I have a quick, I'm just going to hop right in. When did you start work on the driveway and when did you finish in your professional assessment?
well, I believe the,
As you can recall, don't look at any documents, just tell me off the top of your head.
well, off the top of my head, I would say that the project started in 2020 and finished up in
What month?
2021.
Months.
Months. I believe we started in November, December, and we completed in that fall, the following fall. We were done with the mound system. So I guess that would be 2021.
Driveway. I'm simply just asking the driveway. You started in November, December 2020 with the driveway. When did you complete the driveway?
I would say by the 4th of July.
2021?
Correct.
All right, okay. And now then you did the septic and that was kind of with the driveway time, but outside of that driveway time as well?
Correct.
When did you start the septic?
Oh, I'd have to look. I would just assume off the top of my head, it's usually the first thing that we try to get in right away. So as far as the planning goes and permit process, so I would say that the paperwork for the septic started in October of 2020. And I believe by the first of the year, did you guys have a sanitary permit by the?
You can't ask them
All right.
questions. So just, this is just you telling me off the top of your head.
Okay.
And right now, because I'm saying off the top of your head, and it's so long ago that if somebody comes and says, here, didn't, this document says this, and didn't you just say that with the date? I'm not gonna, that's not gonna be impeachment for me.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to know off the top of your head, when you think you started the septic and when you think you completed it.
I would say that we started the septic in December of 2020 and completed it in August of 2021.
Okay, but you started the process with the permits and all of that
Oh,
around
yeah.
October.
That's
2020.
considered starting it, yes.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. DiNardo, sorry, I just needed those start and completion times for my brain so I can follow along.
Okay. So back to the invoice. Do you see anywhere on the invoice that we provided you just now, these invoices that you submitted to us?
I'm just gonna give you a little bit of other pointers. Just because they're not represented, Mr. Porter, I'm not giving them legal advice. I'm trying to make this run a little bit smoother. When you're asking a witness about something in particular, please say so that you can direct not only the witness, but the court and Mr. Porter. On exhibit number 100, can you please look at that? And on this document, it says this. Is that
Okay.
correct? Or something, whatever you're gonna ask, but
Mr. Porter, what exhibit is your document?
1.
Okay, all right, all right. Can you tell me on this invoice, does it
Which
show
one?
on exhibit 100? Does it say anywhere on here that there's going to be interest and finance charges if we don't pay by a certain date?
No.
And back to exhibit 1, May 19th, we had a hearing. And can you tell me whether or not you submitted any invoices to us prior from the date of the last invoice that you received, that you sent us to May 19th, 2025?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Have you submitted any invoices to us between May of 2021 to May 19th, 2025?
Yes.
And did you submit an invoice to us on May 19th, 2025, immediately following the hearing that we were waiting for your discovery?
Well, let's see. I don't know what day this was, but I've got May 19th, 2025, a finance charge. As far as the actual invoicing goes, I think you'd have to go back a few years. 'Cause I don't
Let me
think,
rephrase that. Did you, on May 19th, 2025, we had a hearing. It was a motion hearing that in regards to waiting for your discovery and interrogatories.
okay,
Immediately following that hearing, did you send us an email that demanding payment for this invoice? It was this invoice in particular, invoice number, Exhibit 1.
Exhibit 1,
Exhibit 1.
okay.
Exhibit
Okay.
1,
okay.
you emailed us, or do you recall emailing us?
And
I do
first
recall.
question. Okay, that's a first question. Do you remember emailing us?
Okay,
Question, let him answer. Then you can ask another question, let him answer. And then another question, let him answer. It's like building the pyramid,
okay.
one brick at a time. So her question was, do you remember sending her an email on or around or shortly thereafter, May 19th, 2025, after our court hearing? Do you recall?
I recall sending a statement out with the balance owed, and normally I would do that before the court hearing. Whether or not they received it, whenever they received it, but yes, at the end of the day, yes, yes.
Yes, you did email,
Yes.
you do recall emailing us.
Mhm.
Please don't go, please just say yes or no, because I may understand, because I hear the tone, but my court reporter can't differentiate between anything, so she just has to put M, or HMM, whatever she does, but.
Okay.
And back to Exhibit 100, I just want to make sure we're not missing anything here, but there isn't anywhere on here that states that there's going to be finance charges if payments aren't due.
No,
And then I've got geez, here. Maybe I have to look for these documents. Wow. Everything was in order until we got here. So I need,
And when she's whispering or talking to herself like that, you, Madam Court Reporter, you do not need to take that down, okay?
this one, this one. So that's all. Apologies. Moving on.
this way too. So I only need one of each thing that you're gonna have marked as an exhibit. Okay, so this is its own separate thing, right?
Yes.
Stop doing that. I'm just gonna put the numbers on these for now and I'll fill them in later just because it'll be quicker. So these are all different things.
I'm sorry, that there's copies.
Okay, I don't need the copies. I just need one of everything you want marked as an exhibit. So.
Your Honor,
I can't really sort
can I
these
have
for
a
you.
crossed out of my
So
coat?
if you hand it to me, I'm gonna mark it as something separate, so I need to know what it is that you need. So here's what you have marked so far. 101 through 107.
That's a nice coat you got there.
I'm sorry.
No, you're all right.
I was gonna take it home with me.
Okay. Okay. So what you might want to do to keep everybody on the same page, so nobody's going, I don't know which one you're talking about, is you might want to copy that number onto each of the copies so people know.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Everybody needs 105.
Yep.
Yep, that's right.
So this is prior to us, oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, we are on the record right now, so now you can ask questions.
That is 105, exhibit 105,
103.
103. Can you share with us what you see in regards to the bids that you provided?
I see $2,000 on a shared portion of driveway. I see $3,000 on your driveway. And I see $5,000 in clearing.
Can you explain? Looking at exhibit 100, just for transparency, just can you explain how the difference in your total bill came to, what do we got here? We paid you 28,000.
I don't understand the question.
So just trying to understand how we went from how we paid you 28,000, how you charged us 28,000, and we have an estimated bid for around $10,000, and that included that shared driveway.
You put about a 4-foot sand lift on your lot to build on top of. And you added on work as we got into that project, you added clearing on. And it turned into a very huge project.
How much, so in regards to,
This,
correct, in regards to the bid that you provided us, were you at the property by the time, had you been at the property by the time you gave us that bid?
Are you referring to exhibit 105? When you say that bid?
103.
103.
Sorry.
I have a copy of 105. I don't have a copy of 103.
That could be my mistake, Your
I
Honor.
have this.
Sheets of 103. They're the same thing and they're marked differently.
That's my fault. I apologize. I think,
Looks like,
103.
because she asked me if this was all the same, and then I was the one that, I'm like, oh, shoot, no. Then I took him back and I
I
didn't
don't know
realize.
what it is. I have 103.
What I marked is what it is.
Well, they're the same and one's 105 and one's 103.
He might have handed it to
He
him.
did.
Okay.
So, let's just nix 105 for now
Okey doke.
and let's call it 103.
Sorry.
That's okay. Wait, because do you have a stamped one? No.
No,
Oh, yep, it's 103. Okay, so I'm just confused. So what one do you have, sir? You have a real copy too. Can I have that?
Yep.
But it's marked 105, but it's not filled out in any of the other things. I'm just gonna cross that out because it's 103. But it's not official. There we go.
Sorry. Okay.
In regards to your professional experience in building driveways and understanding foundations, and what kind of foundation do we have at the property?
Foundation or driveway?
Foundation.
I believe. Didn't you do a post frame?
No,
Building?
my apologies. Clay, sand, both
Clay,
clay.
a lot of clay.
A lot of clay, actually, correct, you are correct. And what can you tell us about clay driveways and when you build them, the importance of
What do you know
Building
about
a
clay
driveway.
driveways and building a driveway on clay?
Thank you.
I know you should avoid it if you can.
Okay, but as an excavator, knowing that, you know, you're gonna be building a driveway that that needs to be approved by the developer, because it is a new development that hadn't been built yet.
Okay.
How would you build that driveway? What is required when building a clay driveway? What's the
Well,
difference between clay and sand?
the ability to absorb water. As far as the soil structure goes, sand will absorb water, clay will not absorb water. Doesn't like to. It will eventually, but it has a very, very slow soil absorption rate. Your driveway, I'm sorry, I'm not going back to that, down that rabbit hole. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's okay. So with that being said, you knew that it was a clay driveway prior to taking this project on. Did anybody, or did we ever say or put a dollar limit to the way it was built? Or did we put a dollar limit and say, please do not spend more than this dollar amount?
Not that I'm aware of.
And when you've got a property owner that hires you to build a driveway, would you agree that you would do it correctly in regards to the type of soil there is?
Yes, I would hope so.
Okay. And when you look at document 103, when you look at exhibit 103,
Okay.
what date was that you see?
This looks like, I see October 29th of 2020
Okay.
out here.
And were you at the property prior to providing us a bid?
I don't know. I can't say for sure if I'd been there yet or not. Looks like in that text message, I had sent you a bunch of contractors' names. Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Sure it doesn't have the same number on it. Uh-oh. There's the same number.
Oh, okay, so which ones are the same? 106 and 101 are the same? Okay, so this is no longer a thing.
Mr. Porter needs a copy, yes? You, 101?
Or to look.
Thank you.
Okay. You don't have a third copy? You just have two copies?
Be a miracle.
And that's fine. Just make sure that Mr. Porter sees it and that I get to review it before you give it to Mr. Taylor to ask questions.
Okay, sorry, can I borrow yours?
Do you want this back?
Yeah, just so I can show Mike, but do you mind if I do that? Can you tell us what, Mr. Taylor, can you share with us what date that you see that?
I see October 19th of 2020, and I see October 23rd of 2020.
Do you mind just sharing with us what that document, what that reads?
Well, this looks to me like this is, you're texting me, a picture of a map with Little Trade Lake Estate, or Little Trade Estates. And then there's, some info on this text as far as coordination with, looks like, I don't remember who Dana is, but you shared Dana's contact information. Is that the neighbors?
What exactly are you asking about Exhibit 101?
On Exhibit 103, you had provided some pricing and we were talking about whether or not he was at the property prior
Okay,
to.
you're giving, I just don't understand. You're trying to give me testimony through questions. And I'm gonna tell you, I can't do that. You need to ask him questions. And it needs to be, if you're asking him about 101, which is that communication with the Trade Lake Estate map, and that you need to ask specifically, what are you asking him? What do you care about this exhibit? Why is it important?
Apologies.
No, that's okay. And I know, and I understand that you don't have an attorney right now and you're not an attorney. So that's why I'm being as lenient as I possibly can.
We thank you.
I'm trying to do that.
Understood.
Okay, so if you're asking him about 101, just be very direct and ask him what you want him to get out of this document.
Where we're going with this, it's Mike, it's in regards to your billing and how you came up with the dollar amount that you came up with and the bid that you provided us. And my question prior to that was, had you been to the property prior to that bid?
And so that should be your question. You don't need to give me all or ask him, say all of that stuff before that. You just need to say, prior to your bid, or as 101 states it, it's an estimate. According to 101, were you to the property prior to October 19th, 2020? If that's what you're trying to ask. Is that what you're trying to ask?
Yes. And he couldn't recall. And
Okay, so then you need to ask, he didn't recall that, so then that's the question. He doesn't recall.
okay. All right. You want me to do this next?
Yeah, I can, if you let me, can I step in and ask a couple questions?
You may.
As of your billing date, well, is the job complete today?
And again, I need you to be more specific because we have two jobs here. We have driveway and septic.
Okay, as of the septic system that you're billing us for, is the job complete?
Yes,
Are you aware of a compliance that from final inspection that the,
First, again, you're.
I know, I don't know how to do this.
No, I know you don't. And but you've had four, I think, attorneys or
Yeah.
five.
for,
Four. How you do this is you just have to ask smaller questions, such as, was there a final inspection on the septic, Mr. Taylor? Was there a final inspection on the septic?
yes,
Were you there and present at this final inspection?
yes,
Do you know what happened during this final inspection?
the plumber, Pat Kissick, met with county zoning representative, I believe, at the time. The gentleman has since retired. I believe it was Webb McCumber was the inspector. That's who was there, and that's everything. I know that Pat gave him the elevations, this was pretty normal.
All right, so that's how you ask questions. The short, you gotta, again, it's building blocks. You have to build because otherwise, if there's a whole lot of information, then you're not getting out any answer. Okay, because you don't know what to respond to or how.
Was there any things different about this mound system than any other one that you have built?
Yes,
So when you're done,
You wanna build on that? What's different about the mound system?
what would be different? What was different about this mound system than all the other ones?
typically, they're not so far away from the building, they're not so far away from the tank. This one has an insulated pipeline from the tank to the cell. So first to the upland cell, I believe it is. And,
To a cell, what is a cell?
dispersal cell, it's a cell inside of the mound. Anyways, it's insulated.
Okay.
So, and as far as your mound in particular is, I don't think you guys liked where we routed the pipeline in the first place, so we dug it back up and moved it over. So that's something that we don't normally do. But we did that, and I think it was because of approaching on a property line or something like that, or next to the driveway or something, but it was all insulated. Sorry, it was a little bit too much, but
So the second removal of that, you moving that pipe, that was why did you move the first, from the first placement of the pipe to the second placement? Why did you move that?
I don't remember. You guys wanted it moved. You wanted it moved over, and I feel like it went around one of the yard trees closer to the driveway. Because it crosses just to give you, everyone here a little visual. The force main, when it comes out of the lift station, it crosses their driveway kind of at a skew, and a skew is an angle. And that pipe had run up and around one of the bigger trees next to the driveway. And I think it was, I feel like you guys just didn't like where it was at, so we moved it over. So that was about it.
Would you have had to move that pipe because of the driveway in the wrong spot?
No,
How deep normally is that main? How deep do you bury that main?
It's pressurized, so it can vary. You know, and with the insulated pipe, you know, it varies between 6 to 12 inches of cover on it. Pretty shallow, I guess what I'm saying, because there's never any water standing in it.
So most mound systems equal out on either side of the cell?
It all depends on your cross slope. If you have a aggressive cross slope and your elevation there, your dispersal cell may be offset to the upland side more so. We usually try to do our best with following the design as far as how Keith draws them up and designs them. So, yeah.
So the pitch, what would the pitch be on that mound? That a normal pitch on a mound system,
It's
4 to
less than
1,
2%, I believe.
and that was how you were supposed to build?
Less than, yeah,
That's a yes.
yes, that's a yes.
I need 3 of these. Was our mound system, what was the mound system pitch the same on both sides of ours?
When you say pitch, what do you mean?
Well, the slope, like you got a 3 to 1 or 2 to 1, usually on the cover side of it?
So you mean on a final completion?
Yes.
Okay, no,
So what happens if the one side doesn't get the same amount of cover as the other side?
it has the same amount of cover, it just doesn't have the same amount of slope. I think is the word you're looking for rather than pitch.
Slope.
So it doesn't have the same amount of slope to match up with the high side because you have a very aggressive cross slope right there. And you have a very, very small window to fit that system in. And sorry, go ahead.
Would it be on that one side, on the straighter slope side, be able to freeze easier than than the other side, being that it's just not the same slope?
No,
It won't have a freezing issue.
no.
These are different.
That whole system is insulated. That mound system is built out of styrofoam with internal components that are wrapped in with that styrofoam. So if in the event of Everett coming up with the mound freezing, you would have to either travel on it with a dog, a cat, or person would have to do that, or snowmobile, whatever. You would have to travel on it in order for that to freeze up.
So is
A dog can travel on it and make it freeze up?
An animal, a deer can even make frost.
And what are we talking about? I'm just gonna say here, I don't know how to build a septic system. I don't know much about a septic system. I'm trying to follow along and I'm trying to figure out what slope means, what pitch means, what skew means, what all of these words mean.
Right.
Because that's what I'm supposed to do, but I'm having a hard time. So can you please explain again what you're talking about, that a dog can walk on and have it freeze in the winter, and then I'm gonna guess wreck the system?
Well, it won't wreck the system, but it'll freeze things up.
Well, freeze the
Animals,
pipe,
just
which could wreck things. right?
true. Animal traffic,
On what are we talking about? on what part of the mound, what slope, the 2%, the 1%, what are we talking about?
I really don't know. I feel like he was leading into something, so I was just trying to save us all a lot of time.
What part of the mound are we talking about that you're not really supposed to walk on?
Not supposed to walk on any of it.
Any of them, I have to mow mine.
Well, I'm kind of talking about like during freezing temps.
In the freezing times, I'm not supposed to walk on my mound.
You should stay off of it.
Shouldn't let my dogs, when they weigh 30 pounds, walk on my mound.
You shouldn't.
Let's not build mound systems because, and it takes up half my yard. Okay, I didn't know that. I usually like trials like this about things I don't know so I can learn things. I'm trying to learn things. Okay, so you can't walk on a mound in the winter.
I
All right.
can't control the deer, but that's what it is.
Can't control the wildlife.
Right.
You can try. Not at all. I can't walk any part of my mound. Not one part. I can't walk. Can't walk on my mound. Wish we had signs that said that to all the people. That would be great.
That sign. How do I come up with?
Well, thanks. I did learn something.
I apologize for smiling, Your Honor.
No, it's just, I'm smiling too, and I'm learning something. So that's good.
There's a.
I'm not quite sure how to say the next one, but if everything was completed on the mound system, why was the final inspection on the house denied because of the wiring and warning light?
Are you aware that the final inspection did not pass?
Thank you.
No. No, are you talking about the house or the sewer system?
Septic system did not.
Do you have that
a part-
document?
a Part of the house, when I get my final, it did not pass because it didn't have a warning.
Okay, so and that you're giving testimony right now, but
Okay,
and that's what you need to ask. If he was aware of a final inspection, was he present? Those kinds of things.
And Your Honor, the final inspection is done by the UDC building dwelling code inspector. That has nothing to do with the sewer system. So if they had something fail inside their house, that does not have to do with what we're here about today.
Okay. All right.
Because the copy that I have in that file right over there says that the sewer inspection did pass.
Okay, so that's what we need to identify, and it needs to separate. If you had a full house inspection versus just simply the septic. Okay,
and she's,
You can ask a question. So who did you, for the mound system, when you when you do the mound system, who did you hire to install did you hire anybody to install the alarm for the mound system?
So you're asking me if I hired anybody to install the high water alarm for the mound system?
Correct.
No. When we set your tank, we usually install those, but your walls were not done yet when we set your tank. So we left your alarm with you. And typically on new construction, whoever's doing the interior electrical will handle that.
Did you ask Ide Electric to install the alarm?
I don't remember.
Okay.
so it would be safe to say that the mound system was not complete.
Are you talking about because you didn't have, because your interior inspection failed because you didn't have a high water alarm up? Is that where we're going with this?
It was,
well, and you guys you can't ask him a question and then you can't provide a statement back to him. It has to be a question answer, and I think I know what you're trying to get at. And I think I know what Mr. Taylor's trying to say with how this process goes, because it's a new build, completely different than an old house or a house that's previously built and putting in another septic. It's a new build. And what I have heard so far is he's installed the septic, he installed it completely. The only thing that he could not install at that time was the alarm system because your house wasn't done. You had no walls. And because you had no walls, you had no wiring, you had no things, he could not install that alarm system. And therefore, his work was done because what he said is usually, mostly, if this is what happens, he places that alarm system either in the property, I think he said, or he gives it to you. And then the electric company, or not the electric company, the electrician comes and they install it. So that's what I've heard so far in testimony. Am I wrong?
No,
Okay.
Were you present during every day that the mound system was being installed?
yes,
Do you recall was the plumber there every day?
yes.
When did Pat Kissick stop working for you?
In 2024,
Do you recall if Scott helped?
helped with what?
Install the mound system?
And by Scott, you mean Mr.
Mr. Vogel. Mhm.
No, I don't believe he was there.
Who helped put pipes in?
Put what in?
The pipes, the PVC? Is it PVC?
You mean as far as the construction goes?
Of the mound system?
Myself, Tom Nagel, Pat Kissick.
Tom who?
Nagel,
Nagel?
yes.
Your Honor, I have physical pictures that didn't get brought with me that are on my phone. And I
Take your
can't.
phone. I can keep your phone for a year.
Oh, should have brought the other one. There were 3 days that, okay. So yes, you had Pat Kissick there every single day, is what you stated.
Yes,
And you were there every day.
He's already stated yes. I think this is a great time to take a little break.
Thank you.
All right, so 10-minute break, good enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 10-minute break.
And some water.
We have taken a slight break. Ms. DiNardo, you were in the process of questioning Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor is coming back to the witness stand. He is under oath. All right, you may continue. Where?
Yep, I just need the one. All right, so this is one thing. Okay. We left off at, oh, wait. Here, I'm gonna staple this for now. Go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot. I forgot my water. I'll be right back. So you're getting organized anyway. Purpose I went out there.
All rise, please.
Thank you. If you may be seated, and I apologize. Are we all set?
Yes.
Exhibit 109.
On Exhibit 109, can you explain a little bit about what this bid is for?
Actually, I'm gonna say, okay, you're talking about the third page of 109?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
On the third page of 109, what is that, Mr. Taylor?
Looks to me like clearing of stumps and brush from main driveway. I really don't know, to tell you the truth. It looks to me like there's some additional fabric, some additional grading, and some cleanup.
And what date was that on?
This was from 5/4/21, this estimate that you just gave me.
And on that estimate, it also states, do you recall one of your drivers trying to back down the driveway? And what happened with all of everything that was in his dump truck?
Which time?
It's from that, it's on that invoice. It was May,
This isn't an invoice.
or excuse me, bid. The bid.
So
So you, when you look at the email between Dana and Scott and yourself, it's the same exhibit. I believe it's page 2. Because is that work that needed to be corrected in May?
So this is what you're talking about here, correct?
Which is that, what
That's
exhibit?
Page 3.
Page 3 of the exhibit,
Okay.
okay.
So what's your question?
I'm just trying to clear. So you provided a bid for us to put fabric down on a driveway that you already put fabric down. Can you explain why we need additional fabric?
Because you guys didn't listen to the advice of the contractor and wait until the frost was out of the roadway before you continued with your concrete pouring and your construction during the spring months. And it looks like this estimate here is a little bit of, you've got some woven fabric on here, you've got some gravel, you got some grading, and it looks like you got some cleanup. All of this is, when we left off, we were talking about a sewer system, and now we're back to the driveway, which Her Honor hasn't actually decided whether she's gonna allow that counterclaim to go on or not, because you were late.
I already decided,
Oh, you did?
made that decision months and months ago.
Oh.
You referenced that the timing of everything. When we hired you, do you recall when we hired you?
It was in the fall of 2020, I believe.
And do you recall
Winter.
what What was the plan at that point? What did we hire you for?
You hired me to, clear trees and, remove stumps from your property. We burned a lot of brush on your property. We also, built your driveway. We graded your pad for where your house is on your lot there. And, installed a sewer system.
And at that point, did we hire you to build the shared driveway?
Yes,
Do you recall when Tom hired you and why Tom hired you?
Who's Tom?
Excuse me, Ava Development.
so Tom hired me because he didn't have the equipment to actually get through the, get the material moved that needed to be moved. It was so saturated and wet in there, by this, first corner that he couldn't meet their timeline. The homeowners wanted to get back in there and he just couldn't meet the timeline. So, I believe that's why I was hired by Tom.
Did you have a contract with Tom? With Ava Development?
No,
And when he hired you, what were you instructed to do? What was his instructions for you?
just to build the road to the, property line.
Thank you.
On this document on 108, I believe, exhibit.
It's not marked. Mine isn't.
Oh, yours isn't marked. What does it state there on October 27th?
What are we looking at here?
You're looking at a text conversation between you and myself.
Okay,
And it states that there was a play pocket.
Are you testifying or are you asking questions? Because exactly, I'm getting your testimony.
Mike stated that.
I get it. I can see, I can read. Document speaks for itself. If you have questions about the document, you may ask them. Otherwise, it pretty much speaks for itself. Clay Pocket, Tom is calling you. He is willing to hire you. That all true?
yes,
So again, can I ask, why did Tom hire you? Was it because of the equipment or was it because of the play pocket?
That's a compound, well, it's a question. And he asked and answered. He's already answered why he was hired. He didn't have the equipment to move because the material was saturated and wet.
and I believe if my memory is correct, that the developer had a front end loader there and it did not hold up well on the wet saturated clay ground that was right there of that hell corner that's on this map. Which is, on top of the north symbol is the first corner, and then this other corner is actually, this is not, exactly how everything laid out.
And you're looking at that map on exhibit 108?
Whatever exhibit this is, if we got a number on that or not,
108.
Oh, I thought it was on all of them, sorry.
I don't know. Okay,
Okay. So when Tom hired you, did you know that it was part of Trade Lake Estates?
no,
He didn't share that it was part of a development?
they just, it was kind of I mean, what you're asking me is something from what, 6 years ago? Like about a conversation. I mean, I'm just looking at this, kind of thinking that, you know, you kind of had coordinated that with Tom to get me on board because what he was doing wasn't going fast enough and it was just a mess in there. Is that, I mean, I'm this kind of starting to come back to me a little bit, but whether or not it was part of a development, I have no idea because his company is listed, I believe, as Eva Development Corp. In my billing system. And so, you know, without going back in the records and looking to see what was, I don't even believe that there was a quote put together for him. There was instructions that he had given me as far as what he wanted me to do with the trees and what he wanted me to do for the road and with that pipe right there in the corner. Other than that, I was just supposed to take it to your line.
And when we hired you to clear the property, do you recall when? Trying to think of. Do you recall what the plan was originally before we all learned that the driveway wasn't completed?
So your driveway is not completed?
On October 1st, were you going to meet with us and Ken Strable at the property?
I don't know. I mean, if you were talking about October 1st last year, I could probably tell you, but
Yeah,
if you're talking about 6 years ago, I don't know.
October 1st, 2020 is when I'm
Okay.
asking if you recall whether or not you were going to join us when you originally
I don't recall.
were hired. You mentioned that on the, I apologize, but we're going to go back to the mound system for a moment. You mentioned that the county required you to do a different soil test. Do you have copies of those soil tests?
Yeah, so do you.
I do,
Mhm.
but it's Ken Strable is. And were you provided with 2 different soil tests?
The original soil report, I don't recall exactly why. Normally when an interpretation needs to be done on a soil report, normally that is the county who is representing the state. The state is wanting more data on what the soil classifications are really like there. And if Ken's soil test didn't work, there's a reason why we hired Keith Stoner to go out there and design that thing, because chances are that there was something got caught on the plan approval through the state that didn't line up.
What happens if you've got two different soil tests and you end up using the wrong one?
You can't.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
On a mound system design, your system sizing is all based on your soil report. So there's no way it's all, it all processes through state plan review, and all of those units are measured on inspection.
And
So,
did you turn in the soil reports yourself?
no.
And I'm sorry, you said who did the soil test?
Keith Stoner.
I've got,
I want to learn. So I'm going to interject again. I don't understand why we need to test the soil to have a mound system. Are you able to explain that?
It all depends on what your soil classification does is it determines the height of your mound. In a very simple nutshell, it determines how thick your sand layer needs to be underneath your dispersal cell.
Mine's high, so what does that mean? I have a high mound
You probably don't have a very good absorption rate on your soils right there.
and
Yeah, it's probably more loam than sand.
how do they test soil? What do you know?
To take a visual test and there's a sample book. There's several different ways. Most common used is a backhoe pit. And the tester will go right down in the hole and analyze the soil.
Grabs a little piece, a little
Yeah.
handful of the soil,
Yep.
sends it
And
in.
every different contour line of different soil, wherever the soil changes, it's documented.
Pardon my interrupting you, Under. Do you need a cough drop?
I got one right here. Got one? You should? All right.
All right. Okay.
um, all right, no further questions.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. How many mound systems have you installed over your career, would you estimate?
I don't know, maybe 400-500, somewhere in there.
Okay. And Your Honor, I apologize. I forgot to offer Exhibit 1, and I do so now.
The court will receive that. And are you offering the exhibits you had Mr. Taylor testify to?
I'm sorry.
Are you offering those exhibits to the court and asking the court to receive those?
Yes.
Okay, I will receive all exhibits.
Your Honor, the plaintiff rests.
Okay. All right, thank you. Oh, no, wait, they can ask questions off of that one question. Do you have a question off of that last question? How many mound systems has he put in his career? I believe he said 400 to 500.
No, Your Honor.
All right, you are excused. Any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Vogel, Ms. DiNardo, it's your time to present your part of the case, your arguments and testimony. Who would like to begin? Oh, yeah. Let's start with Mr. Vogel. Come on up, have a seat.
Oh,
All right, Mr. Vogel, you're going to be able to give me testimony, somewhat of a narrative, like a story, to explain everything that you want me to understand and you want me to, that you're asking the court to do. And then both Mr. Porter as well as Ms. Vogel or Ms. DiNardo can ask you questions. And then we will go from there. So, Mr. Vogel, what is it about this case and what would you like the court to know?
That just for the beginning of the mound system itself, we did not give the okay to Taylor to even start on that. We asked him to hold back. And he went and started it. And then there was several days that I was home when they were putting it in that I assisted. The main line running out, I'm the one that helped put the insulation over the top of the pipe, main pipe going to the mound system. And at that point, Taylor was not on site. I do not recall having a plumber out those days that I helped. There was two of us who were doing it, the excavator and I, if I'm not mistaken, because the dozer was on the backside of the house pushing the back lot yet. We've had several different, well, two different people come in and saying that the mound system is not installed correctly because we got a 6-foot drop.
May I make an objection at this point in time, Your Honor?
That is your right and your duty. And he is objecting because you cannot provide information that other people have told you. That is called hearsay.
Oh, okay. Well, for B, looking at the mound systems and the ones that haven't seen in the past, that it's never been such a fast drop slope. And it's concerning about freeze up from the side in.
Your Honor, I'll object as to foundation as to whether or not Mr. Vogel is qualified to testify about the proper construction of mound systems.
I'm gonna overrule that. I don't think he's testifying as to the proper construction of a mound system. He's testifying as to his mound system. So I'm gonna allow it and give him a little leeway. Again, you can't speak and tell me what anyone else has told you or anything you aren't aware of. You must have personal knowledge.
And then he came up and asked for the amount.
Who's he?
Mike Taylor asked for the amount of money for the mound system. And we said that we're going to hold back because we had some questions. He left the yard and basically ghosted us he did ghost us from trying to get answers and everything for several months. And part of that mound system is on property line of the neighbors property, not knowing how I'm going to be able to sell this place because I'm not sure that this is even going to pass inspection when I go to sell. And also the warning light for the mound system was told that it needed to be.
Can't tell me what you were told.
Okay.
Unless it was from Mr. Taylor himself.
No, that's it. That's all I've got.
That's all you have? Nothing about the driveway?
Well, yeah, the driveway was not installed according to the plat that was supposed to be done by the realtor, no, by the developer, according to the minutes of that plat and everything that.
Tell me what's in a minute or in a board meeting or anything
It was
like
at
that.
it was at a board meeting. County board meeting that they'll pass this.
Can't tell me those things.
Yep.
Hearsay.
The driveway was not installed according to the county plat.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Porter, questions?
Have you been using the driveway since it was installed?
Yes,
Are you still using it?
yes,
Have you used the septic system since it was installed?
yes,
Are you still using it?
yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. DiNardo, questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. Ms. Vogel, are you going to be, or sorry, Ms. DiNardo, are you going to be providing testimony today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please come forward and have a seat at the witness stand.
I thought, can I turn these in or can we,
What are they?
they're, the survey and.
They're exhibits that you want to use. You can get them marked.
Oh.
So this is the first thing. This one will be 110. All right, so these are all going together or you want, okay. So it's a survey and an affidavit. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, same to you, Ms. DiNardo. You may provide me testimony and more of a narrative, like a story that you're telling the court. And then Mr. Porter, as well as then Mr. Vogel, will be able to ask you questions off of that testimony. You may begin.
Okay. Back in 2020, we purchased a property in July of 2020. And it was our understanding that the developer was going to have the driveway done. And it was part of a development, Trade Lake Estates, and provided us with the final plat and meeting minutes and everything that went with it. I had connected with Mike Taylor and we hired him in between September and October and shared with him that we were selling our house, sold our cabin, and we're moving up to Little Trade Lake, and hired him to be our excavator. And the original plan was we were going to put our RV fish house on the property, and we were going to put a holding tank in, and then just start building from there. And started working with Mr. Taylor, and he was great. to work with. I thought that we were he called me dear. I thought that we had a great relationship, and he was guiding us in regards to what the requirements were for the driveways. And when we learned that the driveway hadn't been completed on October 1st, the plan was to meet with Mr. Taylor and Ken Strabel, and we were gonna do the perk test so that he can start immediately and clear the lot for us so that we could start building our home. We closed on our house. We had sold our cabin right away and closed on our house on November 18th. And sorry, this is all coming back.
Take your time.
We had sold everything, and we were told that, the developer was texting us weekly, giving us updates, saying that the driveway is going great, whatever it may be. And then at closing, we got a text saying, make sure you bring your mug books because you're not going to get through the property. And we got there and the driveway hadn't even been started. And we ended up being in panic mode. And with working with Mike Taylor, he was just kind of giving us some ideas. He's like, I can work for Tom if needed. Tom refused to hire an excavator, and Dana and Scott were helping us look for a place to live because we didn't have a place to go from there. And long story short, we ended up moving. Tom ended up letting us put our RV on his property in Little Trade Lake Estates, and waited for him to be done. So we stayed on his property from, I want to say, November 18th until the spring. I think it must have been in May that we finally got to at least go down and put our fish house inside the garage. And so we were on site every single day. And I worked with everybody. And at the beginning, Mike started. I have a text from him with a picture of him starting the driveway from November 18th. And, I don't know anything about driveways. We never nobody walked the property with anybody to determine where that driveway was going to be. I've got many pictures that I was not able to bring that are sitting in my printer right now that does show that there are no stakes in the driveway anywhere. And from when we hired Mr. Taylor, at that time, there was a lot of frustration with Tom that Mike would be like, you're supposed to have a turnaround in this long of a driveway, and Tom is refusing to do it. And I said, well, let me look and try and get him to do it. And he said, it's your property now, so you deal with it. And so we had lost when the driveway wasn't done, we were in the process of hiring Anderson Construction to be the general. And when the driveway didn't get completed, we ended up trying to decide what to do. Do we do this so that we can keep going? We didn't have a place to live, so we decided to just fill the paperwork out. Quinn was like, you know what, you've got all the right people hired. So, and he kind of guided us at the beginning too. And from, I want to say, and we would, Mike would give me an invoice and I would just pay him. We had cash to pay everything. And we'd pay him, and I didn't question whether he was done or not, because I know there were certain things that he was dealing with that I think he may have needed it. So I just paid him. without questioning it, him being completed with the work. And then I want to say it went south when we told him we didn't want the mound system yet. It was in June, at the beginning of June, and he was pushing to get the mound system done. And I'm like, we don't need it yet. You know, we're fine. Let's finish all the rest of the work that we hired you for. And Scott referenced him coming over, and we sat in the backyard and hung out. And I'm just like, you know, if we can finish the work first and then do the mound system, we're not ready for it. And then one day I go outside and there's pipes across the driveway. And then called up Mike and I was like, you know, what about all the rest of this work? So then he ended up having Tom, I think it was Tom, go and work in the back of the house to finish some of the work. And then Tom came up to me and said, hey, you know what, this doesn't feel right, but I'm being instructed to take all your bad dirt or all your good dirt and dump it on top of the wood so you can't use it. Where would you like this? And so I directed him there. And then after that, I remember it was July 7th. Mike came over and said, I want $15,000. And I'm like, you know, we don't have a problem giving you this money. We just would like the work that we paid you for corrected and done. And we did receive a bid from multiple people in regards to correcting the driveway, finishing the driveway.
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to hearsay.
She hasn't gotten there yet,
Okay.
but, so I'll give her a warning that you can't tell me what information you got from other people.
I wasn't gonna share.
So that's why I said you haven't yet
Okay.
crossed that threshold, but,
Okay.
well, in that statement, there were other times that you did, but I just.
Oh, I don't even remember.
That's okay, I just let it go.
I do have exhibits for, to include for one estimate that actually he does both mound systems and driveways. But anyways, I did whatever I could to get the county involved. I have reached out to them. Jason Town was, you know, he was great to work with at the beginning. He was helping me understand driveway easements, sent me links to driveway easements and articles and what to do. And he was going to come down and do a site visit. And when I called, and then I let Mike know, I texted Mike and said, hey, you know, I've got town coming down. And then he's like, you need to be careful with what you say to the town, to the county. And I'm like, why? And then he called me and said, because the driveway's in the wrong spot. I'm like, well, we might want to move it. And so he moved it the very next day, very quickly. Dana and Scott are shared driveway neighbors. They were out measuring prior to this and started challenging all of us, the driveway location and where their property is, and come to find out the driveway was on their property. And so then I continued to let Jason know the issues that we were having. He didn't know that Taylor was our excavator at the time. And then I started reaching out to some of the board members that approved the development, and had learned that this development, there were several. He just shared with me that he didn't vote. He voted against it. Craig Conroy. He voted against it, and because there was a driveway that is a concern. I'm like, oh, well, that's ours. And so then I went to, he told me about a meeting that I could go and speak my concerns, and
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to relevancy.
Yep, and I'm going to sustain
where I was actually going with that is I finally filed Corey with the fire department came down to inspect the driveway and take pictures, and he still to this day will not go down to our driveway. It's not safe, and is what he has advised us. But his initial letter did state,
Your Honor, objection hearsay.
I have the letter here.
it. The letter, that's hearsay. It's all hearsay. There's been a
Oh.
whole lot of hearsay that's been said that's not objected to, that hasn't been objected to. I've let it slide, but he's now objecting.
Okay.
He cannot tell me what anyone else says, and that includes any letters that they may have given you.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying the letter part. I thought okay, that makes sense. I did reach out to the county from, I believe Jason Town and I started talking at the beginning of June of 2021 to present, and asking for help, asking for assistance to hold the developer accountable. That's all all we have been trying to do is trying to hold the developer accountable, because we know that with this development, what he needed to do to get this approved. And it's been a building nightmare. We just want to be done with this. I don't even know what more am I missing, but this has caused our neighbors to be upset with us, and we are pay it forward people. The day that when we asked him to finish our work and then we would pay him money, when Scott said he ghosted us, we called him, we texted him, we are like, we're human, I get it, we make mistakes, life happens, whatever you need to do, but can you please finish the work? And that has been our message the whole time. And then I'd get text messages telling me that his brother's on the board, he's a chairman and he can pull the mountain system for non-payment. He called the president of our bank, telling him he's going to put a lien on the house. And
Objection hearsay, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not hearsay. She's saying what Mike Taylor himself said, not hearsay,
sorry.
overruled.
And we did throughout the whole entire year. And I don't know why I only have some text messages. And I think I must have gotten a new phone at that time and didn't save them. But I put a request in to get all my text messages. But I can't tell you how many times we've tried calling and asking him to come and help, because we just, let's, whatever we need to do, we want to take care of this bill. And instead, we ended up getting a lawsuit against us. And yes, we have had multiple attorneys, but we have been misrepresented. What I will say is now the only attorney that did any kind of holding anything up was Hussey, because nothing has been done by Mr. Taylor from the time that he retained, when we turned all of our questions and answers in everything. And then I think in 2022, December of 2022 is when we retained Hussey. And between him and Benson, I don't know who rescheduled more. And then the minute that we retained Hatfield, we were like, this needs to be number one. And so he started working on it. And that's why we're finally here today, is because I pushed it. And And we've followed everything. We didn't miss any deadline outside of the witnesses. But as
And this
for
morning.
today, we'd like to get this taken care of. We want to make sure everything is compliant, correct? We can sell the house if we want to sell the house. The driveway, I have affidavit and the survey from the surveyor. This is the only survey that ever got completed on this property. The developer didn't. And this survey speaks for itself. And we just need to make sure everything is correct and so we can sell.
I need to know in your words from your own personal knowledge and information, what it is that you believe is wrong with whatever property that you believe something was done incorrectly.
The driveway just wasn't finished. I do know that when Mike Taylor told us that it was that Jason Town had set up a meeting and they met at the property with Mike Taylor, the developer, and Jason Town and the fire and Corey. And we were told that Mr. Taylor had advised, because I believe Jason had asked Mike if he was done, and Mike said that he still needed to bring gravel to the driveway. And we haven't seen him even then after that. So, the driveway, be compliant. He's been paid for the driveway between Tom and the Mirons. The driveway isn't compliant. The fire department won't come down. And I think that, the fire department should be able to inspect it because that's what was required. The mountain system, we know that it's not compliant. The pitch, Scott, there's pictures. The surveyor, when he was there, it's like a 6-foot drop, and the wetland encroaches the mound system. And the driveway on the mound system isn't in the right spot. And the reason that it's not in the right spot is because there was not a survey that was done prior to excavating started. Just want it done the right way and finished what we paid for.
Ms. DiNardo, you've talked about Tom and you've talked about the developer. Is that Tom Simonson, the owner of Eva Development?
Yes, it is.
And you brought a third-party complaint against Eva Development, did you not?
We did.
Here's the thing. Is it your time to ask questions?
Oh, I thought it was, Your Honor. I'm
Maybe
sorry.
it is. I don't know. I'm lost, quite honestly.
She said she was done testifying.
Oh, she did? You did?
I don't think I did, but I am.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And in your lawsuit against Eva Development, you claim that they were supposed to build the driveway all the way up to your line.
That is actually what the plat shows.
Well, I'm just saying you sued them for that, right?
We tried.
Okay. And you had other issues with him as a developer, as alleged in your complaint, third-party complaint.
It was the driveway. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, you resolved that case, have you not?
Not quite.
Well,
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought there was a dismissal of that complaint.
there is a dismissal.
Okay. You have never constructed a driveway yourself, have you?
No,
You have never installed a mound system yourself, have you?
I have not.
Okay. You're not a licensed plumber, are you?
No, I'm not.
You are using the driveway, are you not?
Yes, we are.
And you're using the mound system, are you not?
Yes, we are.
Now, after all this was done, some 5 years later or so, now you feel that it wasn't installed properly, correct?
We've had issues since it's been installed.
Now, I'm asking, is that what you claim, that that's not installed properly?
Correct.
Okay. You are not qualified to testify as to how to properly install a mound system, are you?
I am not.
You mentioned the fire department. Did you install a turnaround in your lot for the
No,
fire department?
No, we did not.
And that's what the potential issue with the fire department was, wasn't it? That there was no turnaround.
There's supposed to be a turnaround for a driveway that our driveway is like 900 feet long. So according to what was required for the development and for this driveway, there was supposed to be a turnaround that was done on the shared driveway.
Okay. Now, there's no turnaround shown on the plat map, is there?
There's a few plat maps out there, but on the
Okay.
plat map,
The lot, the map that shows your lot, there's no turnaround, is there?
the plat map that we were provided with by Tom, there is no turnaround on there.
Okay. And in your litigation against Eva Development, you were asked questions by Mr. McGee, who's no longer in this case, that was Eva Development's lawyer, about where a turnaround could be located. And at that time, it was suggested that you put a turnaround on your lot, wasn't it? By his questioning?
That's his opinion. It's our
Okay,
property.
yes. And you testified that the only place it could be is where your garage is now located.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Okay. But you have not asked anyone to install a turnaround, have you?
In our driveway or the shared driveway?
Anywhere?
No, because we are working through this trial.
Okay. But you never asked Mr. Taylor to install a turnaround?
Yes, I did. We've had several conversations about it.
And where would it be on your property?
It would be where the junction box is between lot 14, 3, and 1, and that's actually where, or 2, 1, 2, and 14. And that's actually where Mike Taylor suggested that go.
Okay. Mr. Taylor has not charged you for a turnaround, has he?
That part was Tom's portion of the driveway. So I don't know if he charged Tom.
Okay, but he has not charged you, has he?
No,
And you don't know whether or not Tom Simonson asked him to install a turnaround?
we tried to get information and Tom wouldn't share that with us.
In any event, Mr. Taylor's not suing you for installing a turnaround, is he?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. Anything else you want to ask her? No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Vogel, do you have questions with the information that you would like to get out?
I got a question for Tony. Do you drive down that driveway every day?
I think so. I mean, almost.
To your knowledge, have you driven down any other driveway that is constructed like this?
No, no.
Have you had any issues with wastewater backing up in the house.
Yes. There's been several times that you've had to take a hose from one corner of the house to the other corner of the house. I don't know what you do, but yes. You've had to fix issues, and you've had the lid of the septic off to make sure that the floaties are, I don't know much about the stuff either outside of what I see you do.
Just because you don't have a plumber's license or an excavating license, you do know, you have experience on what happens when things are not constructed right. Am I correct?
That is correct.
No further questions.
Any recall?
I have no other questions, Your Honor, but I would like to recall Mr. Taylor.
After, well, I think she's done testifying now. He testified. So I think we're done with that. Okay, you can have a seat. Mr. Taylor, you are being called again. You are still under oath.
Mr. Taylor, do gravel driveways need maintenance?
Yes.
What sort of maintenance?
In this country, usually more gravel and grading. Snow removal tends to interfere with a lot of the aggregate staying on the roads.
You heard Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel testify, did you not?
That's correct.
Is there anything further that you would like to add?
I know that at one point I had received a very nasty letter from the Grantsburg Fire Department. And in that had a couple of pictures in there of the little tiny turnaround down by Scott Myron's campsite, and that little sloping driveway right there. And so when I called the fire department up and said I said, we're not even working over there right now. And after talking to the fire chief, he had told me at that time that
I'm gonna tell you though, because it was objected to multiple times with hearsay. You can't say what anyone else has told you.
okay,
No further questions.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. Vogel?
I do not.
Ms. DiNardo?
I do not.
Right, you may step down.
Your Honor, the plaintiff rests if I didn't do so already.
You may rest now. Do you have any other further witnesses or anything else for the court?
Can I recall Scott?
You sure may. Mr. Vogel, please come back up. And then after I have all the testimony, each side will be able to give me an argument and tell me what you wanted me to see and find and what you believe you've proven. All right, Mr. Vogel, you are still under oath.
Okay, we're marking another exhibit? Okay. So this will be 111. And this is something that hasn't been marked already.
Thank you. What exhibit is this?
It's on the back, 111. She's got it on the back.
Okay.
Exhibit 114.
Off the record. Madam Clerk and Court Reporter, do you mind if we push through? I think we can get her done.
I'm fine with that.
All right, back on the record.
I've been through this. I've got a 112 and 113. The ones that aren't numbered up. I think I did it on Saturday. Can you tell me on 112 what it says in the- is it- what one?
Paragon Excavating,
First
estimate
500.
1049,
Oh, 1049, and that's
112.
112.
Yep, and that's 1088.
You. There we go. 112, 113, 114. Sorry about that. All right, Mr. Vogel, can you share the experience that you have working with driveways in the city of Hanover and the city of Rockford, Minnesota?
Yeah, I was a public works supervisor for about 9 years, city of Hanover. I do have some experience with gravel roads, asphalt, and concrete curbing.
Do you have any experience with working with developments?
Yes, yes, I do. We had several developments going on at that time.
And can you share your experience in regards to maintaining driveways and gravel roads and winter versus summer and spring?
Gravel roads, we had 20 miles of gravel that needed constant maintenance. We gravelled and added gravel, we graded them. Spring, when the frost pockets come pushing through, we cleared down, re-gravelled, cleaned them up. And asphalt wise, crack filled, knowing that, yeah, crack filled, everything. With the development side of it, everything was always in what they call like a plat. So the developer had to follow all the city, all the plats that the city had in the book. However, like a 9-ton road, they had to go by, however deep the granite had to go. Or not granite, how deep you had to go for the road, gravel, and all that before you put your top base on. Yeah, so there's as-built, if I'm not mistaken. So they,
There was what?
As-built, as-built.
What, as built?
Yeah, it's already written, like there's a book that has everything in it from the city that tells the developer exactly how to install from
It has
sewer.
built, like how?
As-built,
AS?
yeah,
Can you spell
as-built,
it?
as-built.
Okay.
I guess that's what those guys called it, but anyway, so there's always the developers that came in there definitely knew that how to build the road, how to put the pipe in, how much gravel rock goes underneath the pipe and everything. So they always had to make sure they were compliant with that.
And when you, in maintaining the shared driveway, can you share what have you been doing since the driveway has been put there?
I live on that year round. I've got a tractor with a grader on it. And so I do try to maintain the little bit of a ditch that are in it, which are not ditches on either side. So water will run across the road and wash the aggregate down. So I try to keep it crowned or so everything would not run off.
Is it crowned?
No, try to keep the gravel up on the road, as much as I can. Because when it melts, it comes down a hill, goes onto the driveway and pushes off into the, it's just down the slope. And that was from first rain till today. I have put a good couple of loads of crushed concrete on those lower parts to try to keep the puddling from going on. So I have been maintaining the best as I can with the little bit that I've got, but it's been, yes, it's just been, it's a constant nightmare.
And has Scott or Dana Miron come to talk to you about replacing anything starting from the time from May of 2021?
Well, yes, they have talked to me about work, but that's hearsay. So,
But they talked to you,
yes,
right?
they talked to me about it. Yes, they wanted to put in. Now they're ready to put in a culvert where there should have been a culvert put in.
Okay. Our personal apron driveway. What, to your knowledge and your experience, what are you dealing with there?
The drainage from the one side of the driveway to the other is a slope, and there is clay underneath. So whenever it starts to drain, it goes underneath that. It follows that clay across from where we put the gravel on top, and it gets everything soaked and wet. So I've been just throwing tons and tons of crushed concrete on the top to carry us whatever we're driving, until the frost completely out. Then in the summer I grade everything flat again to and then if it rains a lot, then it gets mushy underneath there again. It gets soft, and we start having the pockets of clay pushing up from underneath.
And can you share why are we not able to have concrete or asphalt put down on it yet?
Well, it has to be all retaken down and regraded on either side of the house or on the other side of the driveway, so the water doesn't drain under the road. It has to drain towards the sides, and you have to take everything down to the clay and rebuild it up.
Do you work full-time?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Porter?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, you may have a seat.
Good.
You're good. arguments, again, what you're asking of the court, what you believe you've proven to the court, what you would like the court to find. Mr. Porter.
Your Honor, the last batch of exhibits have not been offered into evidence, but if they were, I would object to them as hearsay.
Yes, and they are, so they will not be received.
So those were 111 through 114?
Correct.
Your Honor, Taylor Excavating LLC brought this suit against Ms. DiNardo and Mr. Vogel because he performed work that was not paid for. We have shown that the manner of the construction of the driveway was proper. We have shown that all permits and inspections of the mound system were completed. We have shown the amount of the original bill for that work and the interest on it, and therefore we would request judgment against Mr. and Mrs. Vogel in the amount of $30,778. And we would ask for dismissal of the counterclaim against Taylor Excavating LLC because I do not believe that the plaintiffs have proven a cause of action. And to keep this short, Your Honor, that's it.
All right, thank you. If you both wish to make a brief argument, you may. Otherwise, is somebody going to take lead?
I can do that.
All right, Ms. DiNardo.
Your Honor, this isn't about a bill that we chose to not pay. We offered to pay the bill on many occasions, and we paid Taylor in full for items that he didn't even complete as of yet in good faith. And we haven't heard from him, and we attempted all the way up until he filed a lawsuit against us and have asked many times to correct and finish the work where it's compliant, where we can sell our home, where we don't have to disclose things and lose money on our home. And all we're asking for is the work to, all we have ever asked for is the work to be completed, compliant, and the fire department can make it down the driveway feeling safe, and it's recorded. The driveway is where it is recorded with the state. And I think that, you know, instead of receiving discovery on May 19th, I get an email and demanding money with all of a sudden $20,000 of finance charges. That first time we've ever seen it, and we don't even have a contract with him, and there's nothing that states anything anywhere in regards to it. So I'm asking to, you know, for dismissal on the interest, and also to make sure that the work is done correctly and compliant, and that's it, Your Honor.
I guess the only question I had is that the whole went from the mound system that was 15,000 to 30, but yeah, I think that was.
Okay, all right. All right, then if everybody has presented their evidence and made their arguments, I am not going to issue a decision at this time. I'm going to mull over and think and read my notes. I took very extensive notes. And I will make a decision. I'm not quite certain if it'll be in writing or if I will have an oral ruling, but you will be notified either way. Last call. Anything else you want the court to be aware of?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Then we are adjourned.
This case is a perfect example of how quickly a construction project can spiral into a legal battle. On one side, you have a contractor claiming unpaid work and accumulating interest, backed by permits and inspections. On the other, homeowners arguing the job was incomplete, flawed, and not up to standard, while also challenging how the bill nearly doubled over time. The judge now has to decide several key issues. Was the work completed properly? Are the additional charges, especially interest, legally valid? And ultimately, who owes who, and how much? What makes this case so fascinating is that it's not just about construction, it's about credibility, documentation, and accountability on both sides. Now it's your turn. What's your opinion on this case? Do you think the judge's decision will be fair or too harsh considering everything that happened? And if you found this case as intense as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more real courtroom breakdowns just like this.